Hi, I'm Mark D'Amato, and welcome to the bonus video for Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro. First, costumes. First, Spider-Man. Classic costume.
Peter Parker's alter ego, the amazing Spider-Man. Spidey's wall-crawling and web-slinging, combined with his super strength and his amazing agility, make old Webhead one of the most spectacular superheroes around.
No special game powers. Spider Phoenix.
Spider Phoenix. What happens when the Phoenix Force merges with one spider-bitten hero? A cosmically powered headache for evildoers everywhere.
You got invulnerability, enhanced strength, and enhanced web swing, rather. Swing farther, do double damage, can't be hurt by enemies. Prodigy.
Prodigy. A recipe calling for 3-part Spidey, 1 part Thunderbolts, and 1 part huge misunderstanding.
I don't know what Prodigy is, looks kind of stupid. And the suit has double jump, enhanced strength, and enhanced web swing. Can jump and swing much farther and attack with double damage. Dusk.
Dusk. Even stealthier than the black suit, as Dusk Spidey strikes out from the shadows.
Looks pretty cool. Press the select button during play to turn invisible. This will not work on boss characters. Insulated suit.
A suit made of rubber insulation may come in handy should Spidey face any electrically powered opponents.
Enhanced strength. This suit does not conduct electricity and does double damage to all enemies. Alex Ross Red. This would have been used for most of the game.
Spidey with a makeover at the hands of the now legendary Alex Ross.
Concept suit by Alex Ross and David Williams for the Spider-Man movie. We actually saw this in the Spider-Man the movie Let's Play. Allows you to jump twice as high. Alex Ross White.
Alex Ross's Spidey now available in white.
Enhanced web swing, alternate version of the red suit. This one can swing much farther. Venom 2 Earth X.
For all of you that haven't read Earth X, Spidey was nice enough to model Venom 2's outfit for you.
This costume gives double damage and doesn't run out of webbing. Cool. Negative Zone. No
the
powers.
Negative Zone is a strange and sometimes terrifying alternate universe, one that can affect a hero in a variety of ways.
In Spider-Man 90, our hero enters the Negative Zone to save 3 children. This was his costume while he was there. Symbiote Spider-Man is, again, from the last game.
The symbiote, now bonded to Venom, used to be Spidey's favorite suit. Well, that is, until he found out that it was alive, of course.
Unlimited webbing, just like last time. Spider-Man 2099.
The suit worn by Miguel O'Hara to stand up for justice in the year 2099.
Double damage. Captain Universe.
Captain Universe, powered by the Enigma Force.
And same as last game. Spidey Unlimited.
Trapped on Counter-Earth, our hero dons the nanotech suit of Spider-Man Unlimited.
Stealth mode. Show was terrible. Amazing Bagman.
Costume or superhero prank? The Amazing Bagman.
No Spidey belt, so only 2 web cartridges. Scarlet Spidey. No powers.
Born in maximum clonage, the Scarlet Spider.
This costume was first worn by Ben Reilly, who believed himself to be the real Spider-Man. Ben Reilly.
Ben Reilly, a serious case of mistaken identities, left New York with one Spidey too many.
Same description as last game. Quick change Spidey.
When his loved ones are in danger, sometimes there's no time for the full suit.
And Peter Parker. Can only hold a maximum of 2 web cartridges. And finally, battle damage. After battling Electro, our hero is in a world of hurt. And that's all the costumes. Now to the gallery. First, character viewer. Spider-Man.
Our mild-mannered, highly intelligent, sometimes neurotic hero of the game.
From Amazing Fantasy 15. Henchman. New henchman.
The henchmen live only to serve out the will of their master, and to get paid as well.
Stan Lee takes most of the lines for this bit. Hired goon.
This enemy is a well-trained urban terrorist with only one mission: eliminate anyone that stands in his way.
Shocker.
Herman Schultz used his time in prison to develop vibroshock weaponry. Now he uses them to further his career in crime as the Shocker.
He's from Amazing Spider-Man 46. Odd that he's called the Shocker when he uses vibrations, not electricity, but Because if you think he uses electricity like I did in the cartoon show, he's just like a low-rent Electro. Mercenary.
These highly trained soldiers are elite weapons specialists and expert hand-to-hand combatants.
Train yard guard.
These guards work for Hammerhead, so beware, Spidey, they're not on your side.
It's going to give you some around view of the mercenary.
These highly trained soldiers are elite weapons specialists.
Around view Shocker.
Herman Schultz used his time in prison to develop vibroshock weaponry. Now he uses them to further his... This enemy is a well-trained urban terrorist with only one mission. The henchmen live only to serve out the will of their master, and to get paid as well.
And we've seen enough Spider-Man.
Fugitive William Baker hid from the law in an atomic test range, where a freak accident turned him into the Sandman.
First appearance, Amazing Spider-Man 4. Gangsta.
These 1930s rejects live to follow Hammerhead's mobster ways.
After Spidey's done with them, they'll be singing like canaries. Hammerhead himself.
Once a two-bit thug, until he had an adamantium plate implanted in his head, Hammerhead now rules the Mafia with an iron hand.
This Capone-inspired criminal was saved by an evil doctor after a mugging by having an adamantium plate implanted in his head. Amazing Spider-Man 113. Flying drone.
Mechanized guardians and maintenance workers. Not truly evil, but an obstacle nonetheless.
Not all evil has two legs. Rolling drone.
These drones pack huge missiles to destroy intruders. They can detect heat signals with their infrared sensors.
Scout drone.
Not much of a threat on its own. This drone calls entire squads for help.
The lizard.
The lizard, product of a twisted experiment gone wrong.
A victim of his own genius, yada yada. Read it last time. First appearance, Amazing Spider-Man 6. Animatronic samurai.
These relics of a time long past have been brought to life by Electro, complete with lightning swords and pneumatic kick.
Yep, they're pretty cool. Electro.
Max Dillon was working on a power line when lightning hit him. Now, by a miracle, he survived and was reborn as the menacing Electro.
Into a life of crime. Amazing Spider-Man 9. Very goofy looking fella. Hyper Electro. Whoa!
After merging with the BioNexus device, Electro became pure energy. With nearly infinite power, Hyper Electro will prove Spidey's greatest challenge yet.
In this form, he can even command lightning for evil, exclusive to the game. A lot like Ultimate Electro, actually. What Electro became an Ultimate Spider-Man. Dr. Watts.
The beautiful Dr. Watts is a prominent
That
scientist
dress is
and a
impossible.
world-renowned expert in biomechanics. It's this expertise that allowed her to create the BioNexus device.
Rogue, who is in this sort of.
Blessed or maybe cursed with a mutant ability to absorb thoughts and powers through physical contact, Rogue has proven herself a hero again and again as one of the X-Men.
Born with mutant abilities to absorb the powers of anyone she touches, Rogue was an outcast. She now uses her super strength and flight with the X-Men.
Blessed or
Rogue
maybe
is
cursed
one of those
with a
characters
mutant
who,
ability to absorb thoughts and powers through physical contact.
She and several others are
Rogue
only present
has
in the
proven
training
herself
mode,
a hero
which is
again
the
and
danger room, which we're not going to
again
bother with.
as one of the X-Men. Fueled by the dream that mutants and humans can coexist in peace, Professor Charles Xavier formed the X-Men. They're men and women sworn to protect a world that fears and hates them. The X-Men champion the right against the tyranny of man and mutant alike.
Known as Professor X, Xavier oversees the X-Men and school for gifted youngsters where he teaches young mutants to use their powers for good. He, like Rogue, is only present in the training mode, which is the danger room, which I'm not going to do because I really don't care. I didn't do it for the last game either. Beast!
Dr. Henry McCoy, Ph.D. When he's not conversing with world leaders in biogenetics, McCoy helps to save the world with the uncanny X-Men as the Beast.
Henry McCoy is as brilliant as he is strong. His loyalty to the X-Men and his friends is unmatched. That's all we got for this. That's all the characters. Comic collection. Number 9. This issue features the first appearance of Electro. Max Dillon was repairing a downed power line in the middle of a thunderstorm. Bad idea. When he is struck by lightning, somehow, even they don't know, Dillon gains superpowers, the ability to generate and project an electrical charge of enormous intensity. Thus, Electro was born. Number 4. The first appearance of William Baker, the villain known as the Sandman. After a few unsuccessful attempts to take him down, the ever-ingenious Spider-Man traps the unstoppable Sandman using an ordinary shop vacuum. That's kind of funny, actually. Enjoy the cover. Moving on. Ultimate Spider-Man number 1, White Version. Here is the story of Spider-Man retold for the modern day. What happens when web designer... Oh, funny. Web designer Peter Parker is accidentally bitten by an experimental radioactive spider. Peter, now with the proportionate strength and abilities of a man-sized spider, must learn that with great power comes great responsibility. I didn't like Ultimate Spider-Man that much, game or comics. Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2, Number 13. Peter's wife, Mary Jane, is missing. Or is she? Could this be some elaborate cover-up? Or is Spider-Man just in denial? Peter Parker dons the familiar red, white, and blues to find... the familiar red and blues to find some answers. And his wife. Ooh, Peter Parker Volume 2. Two of Spidey's greatest enemies, Venom and Sandman, go to war, and Spidey's caught in the middle. It's symbiote and sand everywhere, and the winner gets to take on Spidey. Peter Parker Volume 2, Number 22. Which number was that? That was 16. Okay. Sandman ends up the loser in his battle with Venom. A fight that leaves Sandman slowly disintegrating. In one last titanic battle with Spider-Man, Sandman perishes as he literally loses his ability to hold himself together and ends up as nothing much more than just so much sand. Amazing Spider-Man number 21. In this issue, Spider-Man is his first run-in with the diabolical Beetle. It also stars the Human Torch, who helps Spidey take down the newly risen supervillain. This is the start of a long-time friendship between the two superheroes, and a lifetime of enmity from the Beetle. The Beetle who doesn't even get a character bio in this game. Because the Beetle is the Beetle, and the Beetle sucks. Spider-Man 25. The mutant super team known as Excalibur joins Spider-Man In this adventure, the villainous Arcade will stop at nothing to revenge himself on Spider-Man. So he gives Spidey cosmic powers? Now as Spider-Phoenix, our hero must team with Captain Britain to get to the bottom of Arcade's twisted scheme. Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2, number 29! Wrong. I hit the wrong button. Mary Jane, believed to be lost, is finally reunited with Spidey, or was this the plan all along? Mary Jane's kidnapper is somehow linked to Spider-Man and knows his every move. Could Mary Jane simply be a bait to lure Spider? Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2, number 30. Keep hitting the wrong button. This issue marks the addition of new writer J. Michael Straczynski. You've probably heard of him. A new plot begins to unfold when Spidey meets a man named Ezekiel, who has frighteningly similar powers and knows his identity as Spider-Man. Peter also visits his high school, and an ancient evil begins to hunt our arachnid hero. Spider-Man number 38. First of a three-part story. After a long absence, Electro resurfaces, again to cause trouble. Plagued by feelings of insignificance, Electro decides to show the world, and particularly Spider-Man, exactly what he can do. Electro begins his mad bid to prove himself amongst the supervillain ranks. Using Spider-Man number 44. The Lizard comes to New York. Relocating to the university Peter attends, it's only a matter of time before the two run into each other. Spidey is forced to leave the skyscrapers behind as he seeks out the Lizard's lair deep within the city's sewer system. Amazing Spider-Man number 46. First appearance of the Shocker. With his Vibroshock units and vibrational bodysuit, Shocker easily bests our hero in their first meeting. Spidey, outgunned and hurt, will have to come up with something very clever to defeat this formidable opponent. Oh, the Shocker, formidable. That's adorable. Spectacular Spider-Man number 66. In this issue, Spider-Man devises a rubber suit to take on Electro. Not too pretty, but it does do the trick. And our hero comes out clean. This issue has one great fight between these two superpowered enemies. But will brains win over raw power in the end? Probably. Spidey usually wins eventually. Peter Parker Spider-Man, number 85. In this issue, Spider-Man goes up against a new, more powerful Shocker. The Shocker has been hired to eliminate Paul Stacy, Gwen Stacy's cousin. Protecting him proves tricky for old Webhead, and Paul blames Spider-Man for her demise and doesn't want his help. Peter Parker Spider-Man, number 90. Spidey in the negative zone. Spider-Man jumps through a vortex to the negative zone to save the lives of 3 kids. Well, there, the colors on his costume invert, and we have the negative zone version of Spidey. Spidey also fights Blastar, and has his first run-in with the Dusk costume. Blastar we actually fought way, way back in the Fantastic Four game. Peter Parker Spider-Man, number 92. Identity Crisis. Spider-Man, once again a wanted criminal, must continue to use the different identities he and Mary Jane created to fight crime. In this issue, he uses the Dusk costume and teams up with the Trapster to get him to turn himself in and clear Spider-Man's name. Ooh. Web of Spider-Man, number 100. 100th issue, and the birth of the Spider Armor. Although it is destroyed by the end of the issue, it proves fairly useful and is granted immortality by its inclusion in both Spider-Man games and the cartoon. Very useful indeed. Amazing Spider-Man number 114. First full appearance of the villain Hammerhead. Whoop-de-doo. Hammerhead was saved after a very severe beating by having an adamantium plate surgically inserted in his head by Dr. Jonas Harrow. Having just seen a movie on Al Capone, Hammerhead styled his own gang after the 1930s mob scene and became a force in the New York underground. Spectacular Spider-Man number 157. In this issue, Spider must battle both Electro and Shocker as the evil pair team up to take the web swinger down. Barely making it through alive, our hero bests them both with a little ingenuity and a lot of fist swinging. Amazing Spider-Man number 185. The moment everyone had been waiting for over 150 issues, Peter's graduation from college. As it turns out, because of being short one credit for not taking a gym class, Peter is skipped. He decides to make it up over the summer and graduates in September. Poor Peter. Because Peter's life sucks. Spectacular Spider-Man number 197. In this issue, Spider-Man teams up with the X-Men. Spider-Man has a long-standing friendship with the band of merry mutants, and they frequently help each other out. In this 3-part story, they team up to battle Professor Power. Don't know who that is. Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2, 2001 Annual, with the cover of the first game. Cool. Ending one of the most pivotal storylines in Spidey's history, Mary Jane is back from the supposed dead and realizing that she can't compete with Peter's alter ego. Suggests a separation. This issue is also the last issue written by Howard Mackey, who has been writing Spider-Man comics since Spider-Man 44 way back in 1994. Which isn't that long into Spider-Man's lifespan. Amazing Spider-Man 217. In this issue, both Sandman and Hydro Man team up to attack Spider-Man. In the ensuing battle, the two villains get all mixed together and become a mud monster. Shaken by the experience, the Sandman vows to go straight and tries to give up his life of crime. Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 21. Peter and Mary Jane finally get married. After a brief fight with Electro, Peter heads to the Bugle to sell his new picks and finds a party in his honor. As the date draws nearer, both Peter and MJ start having their doubts, and MJ's ex isn't helping. In the end, though, they both go through with it and take off to Paris for their honeymoon. Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 21 Alternate. This version features a special cover with Peter and the rest of the actual wedding party on it. Spectacular Spider-Man number 220. In this issue, Mary Jane announces that there's a Spidey Jr. on the way, complete with radioactive blood. What will Spider-Dad do once the baby comes? Well, if it's Spider-Man Rain, then Mary Jane will die of cancer from Spidey's radioactive sperm, and he'll live in guilt forever. Spectacular Spider-Man number 258. This is the Prodigy. In this issue, Peter is again forced to masquerade as Prodigy due to the $5 million prize on Spider-Man's head. In the ensuing fight with Conundrum and Jack-O-Lantern, I actually have an action figure of Jack-O-Lantern I recently got. Just kind of sitting on my bookshelf on his broomstick. Our intrepid hero manages to plant some evidence that helps to clear Spider-Man's name, much to the chagrin of Norman Osborn. Peter Parker Volume 2, Number 2. In this issue, the mighty Thor, fabled son of Asgard, joins Spider-Man in a battle against extra-dimensional demons bent on destruction. Against this never-ending horde, can the Web-Slinger and the God of Thunder possibly prevail? Probably. Amazing Spider-Man number 422. The re-rebirth of Electro. After Light of the Night, Electro has devised a scheme to regain his lost powers. With the help of the villain Delilah and the crime lord The Rose, he straps himself to an electrical chair, and when the switch is pulled, Electro is reborn. Amazing Spider-Man number 425. The climax of Spider-Man's battle with the new and improved Electro and the appearance of the new insulated spider suit. This issue also guest stars X-Man, as in the guy who can copy other people's powers without basically a Rogue ripoff without the weakness. He's actually in a game we're going to be playing eventually. Amazing Spider-Man number 341. This is it. Spidey goes normal. If great power equals great responsibility, what does no power? Does no power mean no responsibility? Not for our hero, it doesn't. Thankfully, the Black Cat is around to lend a hand, or Spidey would be in way over his head. Or is he already? Featuring the Tarantula. And those are all the comics. We already seen all the Bugle headlines. Captain America foils Doc Ock and Spider-Man sinister plot. Warehouse theft to bust. Spider-Man theft to busts. Warehouse theft to bust. Spider-Man apprehended. Mysterious blade. Cited in Prague. See if we missed anyone in character viewer, like the Beetle.
Our mild-mannered, highly intelligent, sometimes neurotic hero of the game.
No Beetle. Photos of boss fights. That's not a photo. These aren't photos. Ooh. I guess this is the big head is kid mode. Ooh, black and white. Anyway, that's all of this game. I've been Merrick Tomato, and I'll see you all for whatever Let's Play next. Ciao! Hi! Thanks for watching. This has been played and recorded by me, Merrick Tomato. The art was by Rafael Agrona. You can find a link to their commission page in the description below. And if you like this video and want to see more like it, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you all next time. Ciao!